Hello, kindergarten, and happy Tuesday. For today, we're going to read a story called Creak, said the bed. Again, the title is Creak, said the bed. The author is Phyllis Root, and the illustrator is Reagan Dunnick. Now, in our stories this week, we're going to see elements of poetry. And in this story, we're going to see two different things. We're going to see onomatopoeias and repetition. An onomatopoeia is simply a word that makes a sound. So creak is a word that makes a sound. But some other examples are like bam and bang, kerplunk, splash. Those are all types of onomatopoeias. Again, an onomatopoeia is a word that makes a sound. And stories use onomatopoeias to give expression. And as you can see in the title of our story, they're often followed by an exclamation mark to really show some importance in that moment. But we're also going to see repetition in our story. So again, when words are repeated, they're repeated because it's important, or maybe sometimes it's in a song, or maybe it helps the rhythm of a particular poem. But again, we're going to hear some repetition in our story today. But we're mostly going to see lots and lots and lots of onomatopoeias. So let's go ahead and get started with our story. Again, our story is called Creak, said the bed. Let's get started. What do you think? Can a bed really talk? Can a bed really talk? One dark night, in the middle of the night, Mama and Papa were snoozing in bed. Squeak went the door. And Evie said, I'm scared in my room. Can I come in with you? Papa said, snore. And Mama said, sure. There's plenty of room for Evie in the bed. So Evie bounced in. Creak, said the bed. So let's think about this part of the story right now. We know that it's the middle of the night, and we're seeing that Mama's eyes are opened. And we notice that her eyes got open because her daughter was coming into the room. So what was the daughter's problem? What was the daughter's problem? Well, if you remember, she was really scared. So she wanted to sleep with her mom and dad. And her mom said, yes. That same night, that dark, cold night, Mama and Papa and Evie were snoozing in bed. Squeak went the door. Again, that's another onomatopoeia. And Ivy said, I'm freezing in bed. Can I come in with you? Papa said, snark. And Mama said, sure. There's plenty of room for Ivy in the bed. So Ivy plucked in. Creak, said the bed. And I'm noticing something as I read. I'm noticing repetition. Creak, said the bed is on this page. Creak, said the bed is on that page. So we're seeing repetition in the story. And we're noticing something. Every time a child gets in, the bed says creak. That same night, that dark, cold, windy night, Mama and Papa and Evie and Ivy were snoozing in bed. Squeak went the door. And again, we're seeing more repetition. And Mo said, it's spooky in my room. Can I come in with you? Papa said, snuggle. And Mama said, sure. There's plenty of room for Mo in the bed. So Mo squeezed in. Creak, said the bed. So who are our characters in our story? And what is the setting? Who are our characters in the story? And what is the setting? Well, we notice that we see the Mama and the Papa, and then the three children, Evie, Ivy, and now Mo is coming into bed. And don't forget, we're seeing lots of onomatopoeias. Squeak, creak, and the Papa, he said, snarkle, because he's still sleeping. And we also see that there's repetition. The bed keeps saying creak every time a person comes in. And every time a person comes in the door, it always says squeak. So remember, repetition brings about importance in our story. Something keeps happening. That same night, that dark, cold, windy, rainy night, Mama and Papa and Evie and Ivy and Mo were all snoozing in bed. Boom went the thunder. So again, this is another onomatopoeia. Why do they have this onomatopoeia right here? What does it represent? Well, you probably already guessed it. It represents the thunder, right? That sound we hear when there's a thunderstorm. Boom. And again, we see the exclamation mark is at the end of the word. Clickety, clackety, click, click. Squeak went the door. I wonder what's going to happen next. Woof, said Fred. Up, Papa popped. Papa cried, stop. There's no more room for Fred in the bed. And again, we see an onomatopoeia. Woof. But Fred leaped in. Crack, said the bed. So it looks like our characters have a problem. What is the problem right now? What is the problem right now? Well, you probably can see in the picture that the bed is now broken. And it's broken because there are so many people in the bed. And the last straw was the dog Fred coming in. So now the bed is broken. I wonder what they're going to do next. Snoof, said Fred. Mama and Evie and Ivy and Mo said, snore. Papa scratched his head, and Papa said, guess there's plenty of room for us all in the bed. So even though the bed cracked, they did not leave and they did not wake up. One dark night, in the middle of the night, in the middle of the bed, in the middle of the floor, Papa said, good night. Creak, said the floor. So what do you think is going to happen next? If the floor is saying creak, what is going to happen next? Do you think the floor is going to crack and break too? I wonder. The end. Well, I hope you enjoy this story. Creak, said the bed. And again, we're learning about lots and lots of things for poetry, onomatopoeias, and repetition. And again, onomatopoeias are just words that make sounds, and repetition represents importance that something keeps happening in our story. So remember, every time we read the story, it was always saying, creak, said the bed. And we saw lots and lots of onomatopoeias like creak, squeak, and even sometimes snuff, crack, and of course with the thunder, boom. So we saw lots and lots of onomatopoeias in our story. Well, I hope that you guys enjoy the story. Enjoy the rest of your day. Keep on working hard, and I'll see you later. Bye-bye.